race fans, let's talk a little late model action. Of course, it took last week off, so we got a little catching up to do, but there wasn't a ton of racing. That's okay. Let's get to Ryan's recap, and then we're going to get to this week's power rankings. So let's start with some folks that had multiple wins over the past couple weeks, and let's start with Nick Anvelink. Last week, day 2 winner at the USA Nationals. Super impressed by that, right? He's really good at home, but he travels well. He went to Cedar Lake, which, let's be honest, there's some really good hot rods. A few guys took the night off, which weather deal, they were afraid of the rough track. I guess I don't blame him. I mean, it was pretty heavy, but he looked really good at Cedar Lake. And then he went to Shawano with a big half mile, 8th to 1st this weekend. So Anvelink at 10 on the year. How about this? The Hall of Famer, Mike Falcon. He doubled up last week up at the Victory Lane Speedway, and he won this week 3 in a row for the 10 up in Winnipeg. Chad Becker, last week, he made a rare visit to an NLRA late model race. He went to the Nodak Speedway in Minot. In the last lap, or second to last lap, right at the end, he passed for the win, parked that baby in Victory Lane, and then this week, he actually made a trip up to the Grand Rapids Speedway, and the next thing you know, he's in Sheridan, Wyoming. I'm like, where the hell is he going? But he did park it in Victory Lane on day 1, light car count, but 110 points will come in handy in a couple months. Now, let's go, who won the other two? There was a triple header up at the Sheridan Speedway, right? And the whole reason Becker went there is because he knew this guy would, and this guy will say the opposite. I went because he was. It is what it is, but fresh off of suspension, Cole Searing kept Becker from tripling up, and he won day 2 and day 3 up in Sheridan, Wyoming. Don Shaw, how about this guy? Limited schedule, doesn't race a lot. When he does, he's fast. He won last week at the I-94 Sure Step Speedway, won this week at the Granite City Motor Park. Mostly limited late models in that one. 7 wins on the year. Side note, late model guys, if you're in the area, they pay good. They pay good. Like, I mean, I'll be honest, I mean, it's probably one of the better paying late model tracks out there. If I were James Trantina, right, I'd be looking at it going, man, if I have mostly limited late models, I could pay them like a third of what I'm paying these guys, and they'll still come. If they don't start supporting it, I would not be surprised if they don't have late models there next year. Brad Mueller. Now, if you remember back 3-4 weeks ago, this guy took a really, really hard tumble over in eastern Wisconsin. And this week he doubled up. Congratulations. He won at the Plymouth racetrack over in eastern Wisconsin. And then on Sunday, Angel Park, which is kind of by Madison, Wisconsin, they had round 9 of the Discount Shop Pals Dirt King Series. And he parked it in Victory Lane again. 2 wins on the weekend for Mueller. A side note there from Angel Park, a little bit of drama. Nick Anvelink was leading that one, and if he would have won, he would have taken over the point lead, but he may have got Mitch McGrath, and that didn't end well. I'm surprised there wasn't a boxing match after that one. Now, let's get to it. No first-time winners, but there was definitely more winners in Brown County Speedway last week. It's Showtime Kent Arment, like I said in the mod deal. He doubled up. He won the mod feature and the late model feature. A hell of a night. He's done that so many times, but not quite as often recently. So a great night for Kent Arment in Aberdeen. And then night 1 of the USA Nationals, remember, night 2 went to Nick Anvelink. Night 1, the X Factor, Jesse Glenns. He had 3 weeks in a row with a big win. So congratulations to Glenns getting it done over at the Cedar Lake Speedway. The Gallatin Speedway, Race McCord. He got his 4th of the year up in Belgrade, Montana. And let's stay in Montana. Let's go to the Big Sky Speedway. Not race, but Kinzer McCord, he got his 2nd of the year, both of these races last week. And Miller Central Speedway this week, David Carlson, he put in Victory Lane, his 2nd of the year over there at the Miller Central Speedway, their final night of the year. They only ran late models on Friday. They didn't run on Saturday because of the RV Mod Tour, but a great way to end the season at Miller for Carlson. The River City Speedway last week, Lance Schill, he got his 2nd of the year in his 1st since May 7th. He won early, and I'm like, this guy's going to win some races. Ice cold, bam. And then by the end of it, he finally won again on May 7th. So Lance Schill maybe starting to kind of pick things up again. Gillette Thunder Speedway, Gillette, Wyoming, Eddie Kirchhoff, 8 for 8, perfect season. Light car count, but he is dominant there. going to be interesting, right? Because they got an end of the year special. I think it's called the East-West Clash, or at least it used to be. And with the points battle coming down to the wire, I can picture Cole Searing, Chad Becker going out there. They might need you for the points deal. The question is he going to spoil the party? Because he's really tough to beat. And those two cats are fast and really fast anywhere they go. I'd like to see that a little bit. Now, I'd be interesting to see if they can go out there and spoil it for Eddie Kirchhoff. Greenbush Race Park. They had an NLRA show here last week. The point leader, he wasn't the point leader going in, but Shane Edgington got his third NLRA win of the year. A great win up in Greenbush. And then Mueller Central Speedway, Josh Skorcheski. This is last week now. Number 2 for the 2S on the season. He won really early in the year as well. It might have been like the first night or something out. And then he got a win late in the season. Not a whole lot in between. He had some mechanical problems, but let's see if Skorcheski can get a couple more wins before the season's done. Grand Rapids Speedway up in northern Minnesota. Kyle Peterlin stormed past the 6M of Jeffrey Massengill, drove around the outside of him to get her done, parked in Victory Lane. That's his third of the year in the 23. And then the repairable vehicles, Tri-State Late Model Series had a pair of races. They were at the Rapids Speedway this past weekend. Chad Olson got it done. Then they were over at Park Jefferson, and Justin Zeitner got it done. Now, late model drivers and fans, it's Thursday night. We've got a race here tonight, KRA Speedway, and then Friday night, the Fiesta City Speedway in Montevideo. Saturday night, Madison Speedway. Their Tri-State late model race is $1,500 to win. There's bonus money. There's all kinds of stuff going on there. So, man, I'd like to see everybody support these if you can. Cheyenne Speedway over in Lisbon. Rookie Mike Bressett, he got his 4th NLRA, and he keeps Edmonton in striking distance. It's really close. It's going to come down to the final 3 shows for those two for the NLRA championship. Fiesta City Speedway, Mr. by RaceShirts.com. How about this? Jordan Tollefson, his 4th of the year. Congratulations on another win over in Montevideo. And then the River City Speedway, here's a guy that's been having just a terrible season. Dustin Strand looked like the Dustin Strand of old. He went from 9th to 1st, and he was flat out bolted Friday night at the River City Speedway. Boy, I tell you what, as bad as his season's gone, right? Could he win the sights? I'm telling you, when his season's going good, it seems like his Achilles heel. Maybe this is the year for the 71 to park it in Victory Lane on the biggest stage in Grand Forks. Now, the biggest race of the week, the Mater Memorial at the Red Cedar Speedway in Menominee. The Iceman Jimmy Mars stays undefeated in Mater Memorial races held at the Red Cedar Speedway in Menominee, because last year, you remember, Kevin Buzzy Adams won it, but it was at the Rice Lake Speedway because of COVID. But Mars, he looked good, Little disappointed with Glenn's. He looked really good in the heat. He just kind of faded. I thought maybe we were going to have a little battle there. Mars kind of threw a slider, nothing major, just drove away. But he was dominant. Pat Dorr, another second. We'll talk about him in the middle, but in a little bit. But good race and great event over there. Good job for Bulldog putting that whole deal together. And great car call. Thanks to all the late model guys for supporting that. Halberline Speedway over in Proctor. Jody Belfine not only winning in modifies, but he parked the late model in Victory Lane the 2nd time this year for the SE ride. And then the Hibbing Raceway this past Saturday night, Derek Vessel, who kind of started out slow in that new car, but I'm telling you, over the last 3-4 weeks here, he's been really, really good. Kind of looking at Vessel's numbers here, in the Twin 25s, he got a 3rd, in the 444 Memorial, he got a 3rd. So a couple of these big shows, he's kind of making his presence felt. So let's get to it. The August 19th edition of the BuyRaceShirts.com One to Go Show late model power rankings at number 10, Don Shaw. Very limited schedule, but when he races, he's extremely fast. 7 wins in 15 shows, including 2 this week, and he has the 4th most wins in Wissota late model racing. So, I'm telling you, he's good. I don't know what he's going to do for invitational season. Hopefully he races the 100, I would hope, but I don't know if he will. There's a lot going on for a track owner at that deal. So Man, I tell you, it's that's the guy right there. If he raced for, he's a championship contender, I promise. At number 9, the Hermantown Hammer, Daryl Nelson. The structural buildings was Soda Late Model Challenge Series point leader. He won the first stage of the Twin 25s, which was a Challenge Series race. And he got second also, if you remember, kind of a quiet second over at the Cedar Lake Speedway Month of Money 5,000 win show. Daryl Nelson at number 9. Number 8, Jesse Glenns. Super happy to see this dude focusing on the late model. And the modified just wasn't working. Not that he can't drive a modified, that late model just fits him so much better. 3 big wins, 3 weekends in a row, the 444, the 5 grand win show, night 1 of the USA Nationals. Faded a bit at the Mater. I mean, he came from last to win the heat. I'm like, oh, this dude's going to be fast, and just kind of faded to 6th. But I'm telling you, come invitational season, he's going to be a contender. The 7X is no joke. Number 7, Mike Gresseth. Second in NLRA points, but leads the win count with 4 NLRA wins. Okay. Now, other than a couple of DNFs in there, he'd probably be leading the deal. I think Edgerton has a DNF as well, but it's going to come right down to the wire. There is 3 races left in the NLRA points. They have Grand Forks, Fargo, and then they got the Prelude to the John, okay, which is the night before the Sites Memorial, the Thursday night race. That's a tough night to get points. Let's be honest, because that's a huge car count. You want to be in the lead going into that race. This weekend is huge for Gresseth and Edgerton. And Gresseth is at 7, but at 6 is Shane Edgerton. He's your NLRA point leader right now. 26 top 5 finishes and 37 starts. I think he has 2 NLRA wins. I think I said 3 earlier, but he had a solid win also out at Underwood. That was like $4 grand to win that one out there, McLean County Speedway out in North Dakota. The 5E solid at number 6, and I'm super excited. Now, for late model fans, it's Friday, Saturday. They got the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars as a support class for the NLRA late models. Kind of kidding on that, kind of not, right? So it's going to be a good show. They got 2 great classes of cars. If you can't make it there in person, it'll be on Dirt Vision. You'll definitely want to watch this one. But the story right now for the NLRA late models is rookie Gresseth versus Team Canada Shane Edgerton. Both these 2 cats are really good. It's going to be fun to see who comes out on top. Number 5, Cole Searing. Fresh off a little vacation from Wissota Racing, he made the trip west, and he kept Becker out of victory lane. He did what he had to do, right? They're racing for a national title. Becker has the edge. Becker has the edge on him right now because of strength of schedule, point count deal. Becker's leading this deal, okay? Searing had to go beat him. Had to. There's no choice. They got to race against each other. These 2 are going to be battling it out. There's no love lost there. They're both extremely fast. They're both motivated, and they are the 2 people that have a shot to win the national championship in the late model. Searing is lacking that marquee win, right? That's what he's lacking. He's got a lot of low car count stuff. He's fast. He's definitely good enough to do it, but I want to see him prove it. And at number 4, Chad Becker, okay? Second in win count right now to Searing, okay? But he has some impressive ones that sets him apart. The 10,000 to win show at Huron, okay? He won the other Challenge Series race at Huron. He has an NLRA win. And then he won a 2,000 win show at the McLean County Speedway up in Underwood, North Dakota. That's what sets these 2 apart, okay, is those marquee wins. It's close. These 2 are very fast. They're going to compete, but Becker with a slight edge right now on Searing. At number 3, and I'm telling you, he could be at number 1, but he's at number 3, the Double One Express, Pat Ward, arguably having his best season that he's had in a long time. You got to listen to this, right? He's like the king of seconds, okay? Right now, looking at this, Mater Memorial, 2nd. USA Nationals, 2nd both days. The Twin 25s, 2nd. And then he got 9th in the other one because of the invert deal, okay? The 444 Memorial up in Ashland for Tanner Byholm, 2nd. The Cedar Lake Speedway 5K race, 4th. Granite Speedway, a regular show in this mix, 2nd. I-94, first. Cedar Lake Speedway, first. I-94 Challenge Series, second. Right? ADA, NLRA, third. The last 12 shows for this guy, 2 wins, 7 seconds, a third, a fourth, and that ninth because of the inversion. These are all big shows. That's flat out impressive. Pat Dorr is on a mission right now, and I'm telling you, he's constantly there. And I'm telling you, he had the best invitational season in Wissota late model racing last year. It would not surprise me in the least bit to see him do it again this year. He's at number 3. At number 2, Nick Anvil. 10 wins, including another one this week. And quite honestly, he should have had another one, but he got taken out by McGrath. McGrath was faster. Maybe if he would have cleared him and not jumped the cushion, he might have drove away, but he channeled his inner Bobby Pierce and yard sailed him is what he did. But that win right there, or if he would have even got second, might have put him in the lead for the Discount Shop Pals Dirt Kings points. But now he slipped back to third because of the DNF, okay? I'm really impressed that he traveled well. He went to the Mater race. Hats off. A bunch of them guys from eastern Wisconsin went. Got 5th, top 5 at that race. That's impressive. He won the USA Nationals Day 2 for the Cedar Lake late models. Nick Ambling solid at number 2. And at number 1, this guy's impressive. The Hall of Famer, no doubt about it, the Iceman Jimmy Marx, okay? You take away a couple of flat tires. He got a flat at the Cedar Lake Speedway 5K. He might have won that deal. He was in the conversation. He was in the hunt. He got a flat running in the top 2 or 3 at the Twin 25s. Other than that, listen to this. First at the Mater, dominated the Mater. First at the Rice Lake Speedway's Challenge Series show. Then he got a DNF and a 6th at the Twin 25s at 6th. He had to come from the back. He got 5th at the 444 Memorial. I guess he's human. And then he got the DNF, but they got first at the Challenge Series show from 9th, and that was at Fergus Falls. And then at the Masters, he got 2nd on day 1, 3rd on day 2, and then, if you remember, the dramatic finish, passing John Canta to take home the $10,000 payday on day 3 of the Masters. I'm telling you, this guy unloads at a local show. And if I said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. He's on the podium. He's extremely fast. He's the mark in the area. You can like him, you can dislike him. It don't matter, right? You got to respect him. He's always in the conversation. So at number 1 in the August 19th edition of the BuyRacers.com One to Go Show late model power rankings, the Iceman, Jimmy Marx.